Okay, welcome back. Last time we made our way through Scarecrow Fields and then through Pumpkin Gorge, and today we're going to start by fighting the Pumpkin Serpent, which I assume is a boss level. And, well, that is certainly a giant pumpkin that we are no doubt going to have to fight. So what does this book say? As soon as I can quickly read it. The Pumpkin King sleeps. If you want an audience with this regal plant, you should mash all of his pod sacks. Okay, so I assume those are those. Okay, good to know. Also, that seems to be a lot of exploding things, not gonna lie. I have a feeling I should probably just rely on the sword for this. What does this say? If anything. Actually, let's kill these vines first. I say as I can't actually hit them. There we go. It's rumoured that the Pumpkin Witch is in possession of a much sought-after dragon gem. If you have a witch talisman, you could summon this kindly witch. Well, let's finally get some use out of the witch talisman then, and summon up the witch and see what she has to say.
Greetings, kind sir. I am the Pumpkin Witch. I'm like a mother to those pumpkins. I give them all the love and care a young fruit could ever ask for. From the moment they first push a shoot above the soil, right up until their heads are cut off and eaten. And look, see how they repay me, running around and causing mischief. That nasty old big pumpkin has a bad influence on the young seedlings. If you teach him a lesson in manners, I might give you a nice present.
Okay, so I assume we kill the boss and then we get at the aforementioned dragon gem, which I assume we'll probably need later on in the game for something. Okay, I guess we just need to destroy all of these pods, and then I imagine that'll summon the boss. That seems to be that seems like a solid line of thinking, right? Also, 10 out of 10, we also seem to be filling the chalice somewhat quickly in this stage, which is very welcome. I will say though, these guys seem to do a lot of damage. Like, they seem to do like 40 or 50 damage per hit, if not more. Okay, 5 pods left. I will say though, I don't mind fighting a whole bunch of enemies at once. I am starting to mind the camera a little bit. Because it does feel like a lot of the time, it's just like, hey, yeah, you can't turn the camera when you're in combat. Like, I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just bad at this, but it does feel like maybe the camera could use a little bit of work. I mean, I say that I don't remember if Medieval 2 uses the same camera system, or if it's a free camera in that one. But either way, I can't really complain all that much. This game is very old. Okay, it's not the oldest, but it is like, what, 25? Yeah, this game came out in 1998. So I think this game came out October 1st, 1998 or something. So, yeah, it's definitely on the older side of things. And it's just hit me. I played like 2 games in a row that both came out in 1998. I mean, to be fair, I can't really, complain about that, because 1998, by all accounts, is one of the all-time great years for games. And it's like, you had Metal Gear Solid, you had Metal Gear Solid, you had Resident Evil 2, you had Banjo-Kazooie, you had Half-Life. I think StarCraft came out. I say that as someone who never really played StarCraft at all. But hey, and with that, we can now summon this boss. Well, that is a lot of health. So I'm just gonna wait, these seem dangerous. Let's try this. Will this do damage to it? It will most certainly do damage to it. So I guess I'll just hit the other one. That apparently was also a bomb, which didn't do any damage at all. But I imagine I can probably just spam the crossbow at it from here. It seems like I can, and it seems like it does a lot of damage when I can hit the head. So, I'm gonna run out of crossbow ammo, but it seems like I can kind of just stand here and face tank all of the damage until this thing dies. So you know what? Let's just do that, because that's that boss dead. That was very easy. I'm sure there was probably another way they intended me to do that, as opposed to just kind of just standing there and face tanking the damage. But, well, you know, sometimes you just gotta stand there, face tank the damage, and just win the fight. Now the question is, do I have enough of these enemies left to fill the chalice? And also, where's the chalice? Also, I should probably, you know, maybe play a little more carefully. Because, okay, we can get the chalice, so let's just ignore any more enemies that might appear. There's a cave up there, so how do I get there? Oh, let's talk to the witch again. Because now we can get the dragon gem as our reward.
A most edifying spectacle, sir. Man and vegetable in a magnificent duel to the death. Oh, I've come over all of a doodah. Here, have this lovely dragon gem as your reward. Oh, lovely majestic creatures dragons are.
I mean, she isn't wrong. Dragons are cool. Okay, so now we get the dragon gem, and this doesn't have any roots coming out of it anymore, so let's just hop down here. And I will take 2 energy vials to get my health back. And while I'm here, I might as well just use a little bit of that money to restore my crossbow ammo. I'll buy 100... I'll buy 100 of those, and I'll enchant the sword. I don't know what enchanting the sword does. I imagine it's just like a... I imagine it might be a damage boost. Wait. That is ticking down. I have wasted my money. But hey, we got the chalice, and now we can just leave the stage and head on back to the Hall of Heroes. And I think we should have access to the upper floors now. So... well, the upper floor, I guess. So let's see what's going on, because we got 2 things from Canny Tim, 2 things from the blacksmith guy, 2 things from the sword guy. So, okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I guess I have 10 levels left and then the last boss, I imagine. So we have a centaur guy who seems to have a bow and arrow. Or this lady. Well, I stopped it here, so...
Dan. Tell me, what's a warrior queen gotta do to meet someone like you? Don't be shy, baby. I've seen you giving me the eye. You may be weak and feeble like old men, but I like you, Daniel. Oh, I love a man who doesn't talk back. I think if you return, I may take you for my husband. Now listen up, sugar. Your bow and arrows are fine for itty-bitty jobs, but if you want to pack some serious heat, you should take this spear.
I don't have a bow and arrow. I have a crossbow. But I...
Think of me when you throw it.
I don't have a regular bow and arrow, though. But hey, we got the spear, so that's kind of cool. Was I meant to talk to this guy first? Because he seems to have a bow and arrow. Like, the centaur guy seems to have a bow and arrow. Actually, let's just see what all of them have. So, this lady had a spear. This guy appears to have a shield. This guy appears... The centaur guy seems to have a bow and arrow. This guy has an axe, and this guy appears to have an even better sword. So that's kind of cool. And I imagine I'll get all of those in the end, but hey, I guess I'll just take the spears for now. Although I am pretty sure, I am fairly certain that I may have done this in the wrong order. Maybe I should have talked to the centaur guy first. But I don't know if there is, like, a set order that you might do. And we didn't unlock any new stages for that, so I guess that must be the end of that kind of quest line. So... I'm gonna go up and do the Sleeping Village next. So let's go into town, I suppose. Okay, so, the Sleeping Village. And obviously, this is going to have civilians. Our chalice started at 59%. that is interesting. Let's see what it has to say.
Poor villagers. The master possesses them. It mustn't hurt them. Hurt guards, though. They seek out an object of great power.
Okay, so I suppose I need to just not... Okay, I suppose I just need to not hurt the villagers. Wait, what was in here? Okay, this appears to be a blacksmith. So that appears to be a bellows. Blacksmith's Monthly. Old man Willie Green of Gallows Town was awarded Smithy of the Season by our readers. His outstanding casts have produced many intricate and hard-wearing iron goods and sculptures. Willie only uses the finest of metals for his work, and is particularly noted for his magnificent busts. Old man Willie was quoted as saying, "Aye, when I get pumping on me bellows, there's no stopping me. It's all in the rhythm, up and down, up and down." And I've always been inspired by stories of Stanya Ironhewer as the greatest smithy that there ever was. And to be fair, he was the guy we saw in the Hall of Heroes. I forgot his name, despite the fact that I had talked about how cool I thought his name sounded. Okay, so I imagine I'll have to come back here later, and also, you know, we need to not attack anyone in here. Okay, this appears to be the local church. A crucifix once stood here, but the mayor took it. Find a replacement and see how the church should really look. So, oh, maybe I need to find a new crucifix for the church. Or, I guess, find the one the mayor took. What? Also, I want to not harm any of the villagers if I can. And because I imagine that'll probably... Nope. Not the best start for me, not gonna lie. Hopefully it'll just drop me back safely. That's that's less safe than I would have liked, to be honest, but whatever. That should do something. It closes that, and turns on the fountain, okay. That fountain is a little bit strange looking, but hey, we do have access to the Chaos Rune now. Oh, okay, so if I daring dash into the villagers, it kind of stuns them by the looks of it. So we find the Chaos Rune, and I want to read what this says. Oh, no. How do I do this? Because, obviously, I don't really want to hurt the villagers. There we go. The rune key is held aloft by the flow of water from the fountain. You may have to wait for the next drought. I mean, we won't if we do it right. Okay, there's the moon rune. And I don't think there's anything left for me to do in there, so, that seemed like a kind of one-and-done kind of place. Also, I hope I can't kill them with the daring dash, because if I can, that's going to look pretty bad. So, I've now opened up what appears to be the library. But is there anything else I can do around here? Because I found the moon rune, but I didn't find a use for it. Okay, that appears to be some money and an energy vial. Also, I'm using the copper shield because basically, oh, that's a guy with an axe. I really have bad luck with enemies with axes recently. Okay, so let's head on in to the library, I suppose. Honestly, I assume this is a library. And there's a guy in here. Great. What is this? Tourist Guide to Galamir Part 2. Tourist Guide to Galamir Part 1. Okay, so... to whom it may concern, I must make haste, for Zarok's men will be here within the hour. I have taken the crucifix from the church. It is the key to a key. I used the cross to make the attached cast, then I had it destroyed. It is my hope that this cast falls into the hands of a just and good hero. Signed, the town mayor. Okay, so... there's a whole bunch of books in here, and I'm going to read all of them. I'm going to read all the books that are in here, so I'll bring up a little timestamp to say, like, hey, if you want to skip all these, skip to here. But I'm just going to go and read all of these, and it might take a little while. Okay, so, Heroes from History, a retrospective. Chapter 1. In addition to being the strongest man who ever lived, Stanya Ironhewer was unsurpassed in his skill as a blacksmith. He was equally happy pounding on his anvil at home as he was pounding someone's head in battle. Okay. It was said that his only fear was the end of the village smithy as the focus of manufacture in favour of more centralised units. As if. Chapter 2. Born a humble peasant to one of the nomadic tribes of the Eastlands, Bloodmonarch Skullcleaver, that is such a cool name, gathered an army of horsemen and swept over half the civilized world. When he finally died, attempting a single-handed attack on a garrison in the north while armed only with a spike on his helmet, he was the richest and most powerful peasant of his day. Chapter 3. Karl Sterngard had spent most of his formative years under siege in his family castle. With his impregnable magic shield, Sterngard's motto was the best form of attack is defense. Sadly, his shield couldn't protect him against his poor eating habits, and he died during a post-battle feast while swallowing a large sausage that he'd failed to chew. Chapter 4. Truly the hero's hero, Woden the Mighty was fearless, single-minded, and uncompromising. Unbeaten in combat, he inspired raw fear in friends and enemies alike, not to mention in close family members and pets. Chapter 5. Trained from birth in all forms of combat, Imanzi Shongama was the warrior queen of a tribe of Amazons. The bold and the beautiful Shongama, I think that's how it's a word, banished all males from her territory except for the handful she kept on to mow the lawns of her people. Chapter 6. A full-time mother and homemaker, Megwin Stormbinder, that's such a cool name, had to defend her settlement from barbarian raiders while the menfolk were away on a hunting trip. She fought off repeated attacks armed only with a pitchfork and a rolling pin, and with one arm holding her baby. Legend has it the gods, impressed by her indomitable courage, intervened and added lightning bolts to her arsenal, which is honestly kind of a nice upgrade. She won the battle with a couple of bolts to spare on her husband when he finally returned. Chapter 7. Dirk Steadfast was a fearsome opponent thanks to his magic sword and a firmly held belief that only women defend themselves. Real men are always on the attack. He was a friend and contemporary of Karl Sterngard and was with him even to the end. It was while Steadfast was explaining his views on Sterngard's shield during a feast that the latter had his tragic and inexplicable accident. Chapter 8. Descended from the finest centaur, Bloodstock Ravenhooves, that's also a really cool name, the archer was the last prince of his people. A proud and haughty aristocrat, he was also an accomplished hunter, sportsman, duelist, playboy, raconteur, I don't know how to pronounce that, and 3 times Derby winner. Chapter 9. The captain of the militia in the time of King Peregrine, Sir Daniel Fortescue found fame when he killed the renegade wizard Zarok. A career soldier raised in the royal household, was adored by the men under his command and renowned for his loyalty to Gallowmere. It was said that Fortescue was always destined for greatness, with his square jaw, steely gaze, and thick shock of hair as black as a raven's wings. He looked every inch the hero. Well, that's, if that isn't, whatchamacallit, I don't know what the term is. Kind of just making it up as you go along, I don't know what is. The History of Gallowmere, Volume 1. During the dark time that was Gallomere's not-too-distant past, it was King Peregrine who thwarted Zarok the Necromancer and his plan to enslave the land. Zarok, once the king's mage, had fallen out of favour with the ruler for conducting outlandish experiments on the bodies of the dead. It was said that deep within Peregrine Castle, the dead were restless. The dead are to be honoured, not kept as playthings of alchemists, declared King Peregrine as he banished Zarok from the castle. All of Zarok's living dead were rooted out and destroyed. Zarok, being an unforgiving soul, went into hiding, and vowed to wreak his revenge on the king. History of Gallowmere, Volume 2. Rumours of ill-doing and dark deeds abounded through the land of Gallowmere. It was whispered that Zarok had employed the aid of shadowy demons to help build a vast castle. Under the cover of night, Zarok's dark army spilled forth from their corrupt haven. The army marched south across the Silver Mountains and through the Silver Woods. Soon afterwards, even the Pumpkin Lands belonged to Zarok. The folk of Gallows Town cried out for help. "Save us, good King Peregrine." Retaliation was swift and violent. King Peregrine's forces were led by the brave Sir Daniel Fortescue, who drove Zarok's army back from Gallows Town. There was much rejoicing, but the war was not yet over. The History of Gallowmere, Volume 3. News that Zarok's army had now taken the Floodlands caused much concern. From this vantage point, Zarok could march west to take the Enchanted Forest. This sacred place would prove a bitter defeat if it fell into the hands of the evil sorcerer. It was Sir Daniel Fortescue who once again led the king's militia to rid the demon host from the land. Yet the evil wizard was cunning and had prepared an ambush. A titanic battle ensued, of which history has never seen the like. I don't know how I lost the ability to read there for a second. It is said that the day would have gone to Zarok, but the skill and valour of one man, once again Sir Daniel Fortescue, led the charge deep into the massed ranks of the undead, felling Zarok's bodyguard, the fearful Lord Cardok, and before finally succumbing to his own mortal wounds, slew the traitorous sorcerer with a mighty sweep of his sword. And as we learned, Lord Cardok was actually killed from about 1,000 yards away with a crossbow bolt through the eye by Canny Tim. Okay, so, the history of... No. Just a second. The History of Gallowmere, Volume 4. The forces of evil were destroyed, but at a terrible price. None but a handful of the king's militia returned from that field. Gallowmere lost a whole generation of young men that day, including Canny Tim, the legendary crossbowman and Fortescue's second-in-command, who fell in the first volley of arrows. Zarok's body was never found, though if it lies unmourned in an unmarked grave, that no one in Gallowmere would shed a tear. The shadow demons that had fallen under Zarok's banner were unnatural creatures that did not belong in the world of mortal men. The king declared that they be banished, entombed under the pure earth of the enchanted earth. Imprisoned within an impregnable box of the king's design, the demons were buried deep underground. Their tomb was sealed with a magical device that has since come to be known as the Shadow Artifact. Okay, so, up next, Tourist Guide to Gallowmere, Part 1. The land of Gallowmere has a wondrous land of breathtaking sights and adventure. If it's beauty you're looking for, be sure to check out the sights of the Enchanted Forest. Scale the heights and see the nests of the giant dragon birds. Seek out weird and wonderful plant life. Go ooh and ah at the sight of baby dragon toads splashing about in the crystal clear ponds. Why not take a walk through the Pumpkin Valley? Pumpkin is Gallowmere's favourite dish, and about now the valley is just bulging under the weight of the young podlings awaiting harvest. And I just lost a health bar. That's fine though. Can I just stun this guy for a second? Tourist Guide to Gallowmere, Part 2. If it's mystery you're looking for, then the seasoned adventurer should travel to the ruins of King Peregrine's castle. Yes, this is the fortress from which the fabled King Peregrine once hailed. It's said that the king's crown was lost in the dungeons below the castle, and that the ghost of the regent himself now haunts those cold stone passageways. Spooky. Why not take to the swamps and seek out the mythical town of Mellowmead? This place was once said to be the place of fantastical arcane alchemy, but an age has passed since it was consumed by the murky swamps. Perhaps great treasure awaits any adventurer that can locate its watery resting place. Okay, now I can go and just finish off the rest of the level and do everything that's left in town, I think. However, okay, I can go in here. Okay, I can open that up. That opens that, so maybe if I push something onto it, that might do it. So, let's do that to hold the... Nope, to kind of hold the little door. That was not what I needed, okay. I will just push this one. This may take me a little while. Lining these things up is a lot harder than I think it should be. Fortunately, pushing things doesn't take very long. Like, you push things very quickly, but it seems like it just takes a while to kind of navigate around it. Okay, we got a bit of money, and I can just dodge her, so that's totally fine. And just drop down here. That is a lot of boxes. Not boxes, barrels. Okay, so. Why can't I break this one? Like, this one just doesn't seem to break. Maybe... That's a bit strange how... It's a little bit strange how there's just some that don't seem to break at all. But okay. Whatever, let's just move on. And that is... I need the earth rune, so let's just head upstairs, I imagine. Okay. They have... They're just armed with frying pans. That shouldn't be that much of a threat to me, right? Can I... Why can I not break that? I also want to avoid... You know... There we go. Fantastic. So now I can just run in here, grab the earth rune, read this. What does this say? The bust of Mr. Shanks, landlord of the Troll's Head. To clean the statue, lower the pedestal. Okay, so now we just head back down into the basement, open up here, and I imagine we just hit that to lower the pedestal. That certainly sounds like something lowered. We can grab that energy vial, and now we can be on our way. Because now we can just run in here, grab that, and get on out of here. And now I imagine we take that to... Actually, what? Actually, I imagine we must do something with the blacksmiths now.
Hurry, comrades, tear this place apart. If we don't find the shadow artifact, Lord Zarek will have us mocking out the demons for the next millennium.
Okay, so we're gonna have to deal with these guys as well. So hopefully this won't be too bad, but I don't know how tough they are. 3 hits with the enchanted sword is... Wait. No, this is the enchanted broadsword. I don't know if the enchanted sword would be like another weapon entirely. But I guess I should kind of just hunt these guys down real quick. I mean, if nothing else, they die real fast. If these guys go down in 3 hits, I can't really complain about that. Now, where was it? We need the blacksmith. Here we go. So, if I use the... I guess maybe I need to be closer. Because if I use the crucifix cast, I can drop that in there. And then, assumably, I can use the landlord's burst. And now, I should be able to melt that down to create a new crucifix, right? That seems to make sense. So now, I don't know how long this'll take. I hope it doesn't take too long. But I imagine if it... Because this could take a little while, so, yeah. Hopefully it's just like 5 or 10 jumps, but I really don't know. I imagine there's probably like a rhythm to it, but I'll be honest, I've never... I don't know. The following statement may come as a surprise. I don't know much about being a blacksmith. Like, it's not something that I have any knowledge in. I don't think it's any... Like, I'm pretty sure, like, even... Like, I don't know how far my family history goes back, but, like, to my knowledge, I don't think I knew... I don't think I ever had a relative who was a blacksmith. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Like, if it goes back a few hundred years, it as maybe, but, like... Yeah, I definitely don't know any. I think I want to say my great-grandfather on one side of the family made clocks or something. But I might be wrong on that. I'll be honest, I never actually learned a massive amount about my great-grandparents. But hey, we finally got that, and I can finish that analogy. I also need to be a little bit careful. No, I don't want to kill those guys. I don't want to kill that guy, because he's just a villager. And I still... No, okay, well... Wasn't exactly what I was looking for, but you know what? I'll happily take a chance to kill more of these enemies. Okay, that guy just has a gun. And, okay, so with that, now we can head back to the church. We can head back to the church and use the newly created crucifix to hopefully open up this. Fantastic. Oh, what is this? That is a safe key, which opens up that door somehow, okay. Dear Sir or Madam, on my travels across Gallowmere, I've come across many mysterious and enchanting finds. However, that which has filled me with the deepest dread was the discovery of the Tomb of the Shadow Demons. The key to their dank prison, the mysterious shadow artifact, is now in my possession. That dress-wearing bully boy Zarok will stop at nothing to retrieve this item. I fear that he already knows that it is I who possesses it. Yours fearfully, the town mayor. Okay. That sure was a choice of words from the mayor to describe Zarok, but okay. I think I mentioned it in the last episode, but like, credit where it's due, I think it might be because of, you know, PS1 FMV, but I do think Zarok actually does look kind of creepy. Like, I don't know how, I'll be honest, I haven't actually seen much of the remake, I don't know how well it translated over, but like, I do think Zarok actually did look kind of like appropriately creepy in the original game. So, where does this take me? Out into I guess, the mayor's garden, I suppose. Okay, so can I jump through here? Oh, I can, but there's also two guys here, so let's just quickly fight them. I will say, I do quite like being able to just hit multiple enemies at a time. That is very satisfying. I know, there's just something satisfying about just one sword swing being able to hit multiple enemies at a time. It is a very nice thing. Maybe it's just because I like character action games. And just kind of got used to being able to just do a massive combo against multiple enemies at once. I don't know. I should play more character action games. I wish we got more character action games, to be totally honest. Okay, let's use the safe key and open this up to grab the shadow artifact. Okay, yeah, that is just like a weird, creepy, gross demon hand by the looks of it. Okay, and I saw I think there was 4 enemies on that bridge. So that should give me access to the chalice once I kill them all. Okay. These guys they just stood in a straight line, huh? I mean, credit to them. Credit to them, they're getting some damage out. Okay, that's them defeated. Instructions from Zarok to his guards. Capture that greedy profiteer, the town mayor. Take him to the asylum dungeons. Give the fat boy a good going over. Locate the shadow artifact and bring me back something nice. I will say, I do like how they give Zarok just a little bit of, like, it's not much, but they give him just a little something. Just a little bit of personality there. Just like, yeah, just like, go mess everything up, destroy a whole bunch of things in town. Also, bring me back something nice. Now the question is, now the question becomes, where is the chalice located? Because now I need to find the chalice before I can finish off before I can finish off this level and today's episode. And also, I should probably issue an apology to anyone who watched this episode and just skipped me reading most of the dialogue, because I think I basically gave you half an episode. Okay, so I guess I can just check each individual place, right? So let's check out the church. Is it in the church? No? Maybe it's in the library. I'll check the library next. Because I don't think it'll be in the blacksmiths. So I don't really know where else it could be, though. Can I break one of these? No? Because it doesn't seem like there's a massive amount of stuff I can break in here. So, I am a little bit lost. Okay, what I'm gonna do, I think... Yeah, what I think I'm gonna do is I'll make a cut to when I eventually find the chalice, because I have no idea what I'm currently looking for to find it, so I'll be right back. Okay, I found it. There was a hole in the wall here that I just completely missed. Also, fun fact, I also found some money. Well, I found some more money and another energy vial while I was kind of just wandering around trying to find it. And now we can leave the sleeping village, and that is the level complete. Honestly, I do quite like how that level had a gimmick of that was just like, hey, don't kill the villagers. Which, to be fair, makes sense, because, you know, you aren't exactly being an honourable knight saving the people of... You aren't really being an honourable knight saving the people of Gallowmere if you're just, you know, kind of going around killing them, but, you know. Okay, so we can't get anything from him or him. We can still talk to the centaur guy. And we can't talk to her again, so I suppose we can go and talk to the centaur. So, let's see what you have to say, buddy.
Look at you running around in your bones, Fortescue. You're so nouveau dead. I, Ravenhooves, last prince of the centaurs, have not galloped the earth in over 10,000 years. Do yourself a favor, Fortescue. Take my longbow. More powerful than a crossbow. The option of flaming arrows? It is truly the weapon of noblemen.
Okay, so,
Congratulations! You don't quite have my breeding, Mr. Johnny-come-lately, but there's hope for you yet.
So, I just got the longbow, but I got the spear the last time I was here, and isn't the spear just like the direct upgrade? So why does it give me the access at the same time? I guess I get more ammo with the longbow, and the flaming arrows might be more helpful in some scenarios? I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to end off today's episode here. Yeah, because we have now finished the Sleeping Village. And we now have access to another new stage. And we'll quickly check out what the name of that stage is in just a second. So, with that... So, no, today we did the Sleeping Village and defeated the Pumpkin Serpent. And next time, I guess we're going to be going into the Asylum grounds to, I suppose, rescue the mayor. Okay, so I'm going to end off today's episode here. As always, feel free to leave a comment and click any buttons down below if you feel so inclined. And I will hopefully see you all on Friday, I think, for more Medieval. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.